I've made so many changes in the past 3 years, and it's on my heart to share with you a little bit about the past few years, all the changes that I have gone through. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Andrea. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for joining me in the Babe Cave and my fluorescent sign. I just wanted to do this video in a little different spot because it's not about handbags at this video. It's about more personal things that I want to share with you all. So like I said at the beginning, the past few years have been so many changes and so many good changes that I have went through. So I kind of want to give you a little bit of backstory of my life. And I'm an 80s and 90s kid that I always worked hard in school. I wanted A's and B's, and I wasn't one of those that could not study. I had to study because I wanted to get the best grades I could because I wanted to go to college. And that was always my dream. After high school, during high school, I took 9 hours of credits so I wouldn't have to take them in college. And I got a 4-year college degree in marketing, advertising. I don't regret college at all. But at the same time, my dreams then are completely different now. I always thought, I have to have a job. And I know I'm probably not alone in this age range or maybe older. You, as a woman, you were expected, your independence. You want to work, you want to make a living, and I was single and that's what I wanted to do. Which is how it led me to a 20-year job at the same job for 20 years. And that is way longer than I ever should have been there. And that was my first change. Almost 3 years ago, I quit my job and retired. I wasn't really in the place to be able to quit my job with our blended family of 5. So when the chance happened that I could do it, I have never looked back at going to a 9-to-5 job. I never want to go back. I like being a stay-at-home mom, and if you would have asked me that 10, 15 years ago, I would be like, no, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. I need to make a living and be independent and, put my daughter in daycare. Well, at that time, I wasn't able to quit, and now I was able to quit, and you know what? It was the best decision, and I wish I would have been strong enough to do it 10 years before that. Because my daughter was born, I got 3 months off for maternity leave, and then I had to go back to work. At the time, I was like, a baby is a lot to take care of. A lot of your time, a lot of your energy, and I also, worked full time after the 3 months, and it was the hardest time when she was a baby to be away from her and trust someone else to take care of my kid. I knew who was taking care of her, and I trusted them and my mom, which thank you to my mom for helping me through those years of watching my daughter when I couldn't. And I appreciate that so much. Working as a mother is the hardest thing I've ever done. And trying to keep the house up, food, like cleaning, groceries, all that stuff was the hardest thing I've ever done. And quitting was the easiest thing I've ever done, and the happiest I've ever been was quitting that job. And it drives me nuts to think that people put down someone for wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. That is a job in itself, but it's an enjoyable job to me. I have loved every minute of it. I'm baking all the time. I make bread now. I have my own schedule. I resell my bags. I buy bags, which I've slowed down a whole lot because I want to stay at home, and my husband wants me to stay at home as well. And that is the biggest support, is my husband. And I get so sick of comedians or random people that I know bashing on marriage. Marriage, you got to work every single day on a marriage. And there are hard times and there are good times and there are sad times, but you have to work through them and you have to communicate. And me and my husband were really bad at communication for a long time, and then we have completely switched, and we are so much closer. Ever since I have been here at home, we have enjoyed every second of all of our time. And he works from home and I am here. And I get sick of people that bash on kids getting married young. You know, if they're with the right person, then let them get married. So if you are considering you're younger, I met my husband at 32, and that's kind of late, but really it's not that late. It's okay to find your soulmate early. It's okay not to go wild after you graduate and find the right person. I've been seeing some TikTok and some other Instagram where older women are regretting their younger years from partying and being all crazy and wild because they didn't find their soulmate. They weren't really looking, and then they have a lot of regrets. For me, I'll get back to the subject. I quit my job after 20 years. I started going through perimenopause, which has been kind of hard for me in my back and some certain pains and sweats and all of that. But when I started HRT, it leveled me out. I've lost 20 pounds. I am so much happier. We as a family are trying not to buy anything that has dyed foods, trying to eat less processed foods because those are terrible for you. That's why I bake all the time, because those Little Debbie's and those cupcakes taste like plastic. Like, bake your own goods. Make yourself do it because it's healthier. My kid is healthy. She's not overweight. She's almost my height now at 11. And if you just take care of yourself, I feel like a lot of women don't take care of themselves emotionally, physically, mentally, the whole thing. And for the longest time, I was resistant to get a breast reduction, and that was the best decision I've ever made. Well, besides, I have lots of good decisions, but that I have no regrets at all, and I feel so much better. My back does not hurt. I sometimes have some pains, I think, due to my hormone imbalance or whatever else. But if you're even considering it, do it. The recovery is about 6 months total, but the first week is the worst. But after that, I was moving around, things were healing. You just got to take care of yourself. And I have felt nothing but grateful that I got it. And I want to pop up a comparison picture of me, and you can see, like, it really was, for my mental health, my physical health, the best decision I could have made for myself was doing that surgery. And my husband fought so hard for me to get the surgery, because we all know insurance is a pain in the... And it is a battle, but it's worth the battle. If you're even considering it at all, do it. I did stop coloring my hair, getting my toes done, all the high maintenance that women go through because of, you need to look a certain way. You know, you don't. You just need to look like who you are. Whoever naturally you are is how it's intended to be. Not fake giant eyelashes or fake giant nails or colored hair. All that really has zero to do with yourself. It has to do with society that pressures women especially that you can't wear comfy clothes, you have to do your hair, you have to get your nails. I don't do any of that. And I have saved so much money and I don't want to look back. I earned these grays and I can paint my own nails and my toes because it's easier now because I have less up here. So there are so many changes that I'm rolling with so much easier because once you start changing, it just flows and you just finally are doing what you want to do. Don't be pressured to be this high maintenance person. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Take a stand. And if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, do it if you can. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend getting married to your soulmate, your partner, who you talk to about every single thing, everything. And don't stop communicating when you have kids. My biggest advice, which hurt me and my husband more, is not talking to each other like we did when we were dating. Now is completely different. We laugh every single day. We talk every single day, all day, sometimes. It's the best decisions I've made the past few years, and I am so happy, and I don't care if you judge me on any of the things I've said. It's coming from my heart, and I was so resistant to change, and I thought I was okay with change, but now I completely roll with whatever change God has in store for me, and right now it's staying here with my husband at home, and me at home, and my daughter's gonna be out this summer we'll do fun things, and I recommend changing. But changes are not always all good, and they're not always all bad. I hope that this made sense, and I just wanted to share. I get so irritated when people start joking or snarking about, oh, there's your ball and chain, blah, blah. That is your partner. That's who you married. That's who you love. When you start tearing down your spouse, either side, it's not good for anybody. And it's not good for young people either, who want to probably have a marriage and have a family. It discourages people from it. So everyone has the choice to choose joy. And I have chose joy through these last few years more than anything. And I couldn't have done it without God and my husband. So that is my final thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this and my Babe Cave sign, and I just felt like this was on my heart and I wanted to share with you. So thank you for joining me. If you did like this video, which is unlike anything else, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you all for stopping by and listening to all of the changes, wonderful changes I have made. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'm not a doctor, but I have gone through a lot of things medically as a 40-something-year-old woman lately. So if you do want to ask me anything, I'll either guide you in a direction if I don't know, or I'll try to help. I appreciate you all again, and until next video, I will talk to you soon. Bye.